Ryan actually came up with the name The Bottom Line, but he still likes to use terrible twos because he's a jerk.
The Last Man on Earth is a title that's practically impossible to prove.
The Last Man on Earth was strangely prescient.
Man on Earth was definitely a Fox show.
Oh, interesting. Hey, everybody, and welcome to
too.
Fallingtower's Watch the First podcast in which we watch the first episode of a series so that you don't have to. You know who's here. He's always here. He's the champ of the show, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg.
I chose not to wear a tie today. Yeah, I'm the last man on Earth. Who cares, right?
Yeah, good point. And your challenger, two-time Emmy nominee, Katie and Nicolau, aka meteorologist Katie.
I think I strained myself. Hi, everyone. How's it going?
I don't know. I actually kind of saw some muscle there, though. That was kind of impressive.
Yeah. There's like a little bit, but it's
yeah.
Kinda...
There it is.
Ow.
There it is. My name is Ryan T. Husk, and I've never flexed my arm before in my life, so I don't even know if I pull something.
Really?
Yeah.
You could be like, you could have gold right there, and you just haven't even tapped into it.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Or who knew? I don't know. But today we're doing a review, of course, of The Last Man on Earth. First episode entitled Alive in Tucson. Everybody, if you'd like us to review a show, in the comments below, just type WTF and the show. Like you could type WTF Smurfs or WTF Fraggle Rock. Or WTF Scooby Don't. And
or
WTF,
Scooby-Doo.
of course, stands for Watch the First. And give this video a like. Please go ahead and subscribe and share this with your friends. If you're listening in, just give us 5 stars. And it's time to have some fun. Right, Michael?
Yes. Almost, yeah. First, we have to get through this first segment, but then we'll be starting having fun.
Mike's totally razzing me because it's like my favorite segment of all time. It's the best. You guys are going to love it too. Here's the key. Michael and I have known each other for a very long time. And so we can usually predict if the other person liked it or didn't like it. So we like to kind of test that out. Michael likes to give it a weird name.
Yeah, it's just called No, it's the next one. This is just called
even weirder.
Predicaments. Yeah, predicaments. Yeah, we put ourselves in a predicament by making our predictions. You know that. Okay, everybody knows that. Okay, let's go.
Everybody knows. Here we go. Michael, I predict that you like this quite a bit. Quite a bit. Not tippy top, but quite a bit. I think you like Will Forte. I don't know if you've ever said that or if he just seems like the kind of guy that you would like. And I think you liked it quite a bit. Meteorologist Katie, on the other hand, just about the same. I think you liked it a little bit less than Michael, but I think you liked it. You may have thought it felt a little dated. The humor may have felt a little dated to you, but I think overall you may have enjoyed it moderately.
Nice.
Ryan. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna just make a bold prediction and say that Ryan did not like this show. I think that he has a lot of problems with it, as like he does with every show. And I think he was watching this show saying like, this is a Michael Kenyon Rosenberg show. Of course, he'll like this kind of stupid humor. I could be completely wrong, but I just decided to just go for it and go in. But on the other hand, another bold prediction, I think Katie really liked this.
Oh,
interesting.
I don't even care if I'm right. I don't even care if I'm right. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
You're going in bold moves today. I like it. Well, I think definitely, Michael, you were probably, like Ryan said, not at the top, but you definitely enjoyed this. The whole everything. But I think Ryan probably was a little bit more pessimistic, but still enjoyed the idea and the promise that it could have. So I'm going to say, Ryan, you're middle of the road. Michael, you're a little bit higher than that.
All right. Well, now everybody knows what our predictions are, but we don't know what your predictions are.
No.
So please let us know in the comments below or in the live chat. Do you think I liked it? Do you think Michael liked it? Do you think Katie liked it? And while you're typing out your predictions and or predicaments, Michael Canyon Rosenberg is going to buy you a little bit of time for your typing by telling you what this show is even about.
Almost 2 years after a virus wiped out most of the human race, Phil Miller only wishes for some company, but soon gets more than he bargained for when the company shows up in the form of other survivors. In this episode, after a deadly virus wipes out humanity, Phil Miller searches the country for more survivors. Is he going to find some? I guess the synopsis, the whole show synopsis kind of gave it away. So I guess he does.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
True.
seasonal synopsis right there.
Yeah.
All right. Enough screwing around, everybody. That was the fun part. This is the work part. This is where we really get down to business.
Well, this is the fun.
Yeah.
It's all fun. I get to socialize with other humans. It's great.
You got a little bit of the Will Forte syndrome then.
Yeah.
Literally. It's called South Dakota.
Phil Miller. His name's Phil Miller in this, right?
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and compare and contrast what we expected versus what we got. Michael's going to hit you with it.
And this segment is called Expectations, of course. That's
Yeah.
it.
There you go.
So this is fun. This is probably my second favorite of all the games. We play games here. Michael, before you watch this first episode of The Last Man on Earth, what did you expect, if anything?
I will say that Ryan was right about one thing, that I do love Will Forte. I love him. I love his humor. And so I was expecting that I would really like the show.
Ooh.
There it is. Katie,
Some of the stuff he's done on SNL just killed me.
like what?
Killed me. So there was like the couple sketches where he played like a basketball coach or a football coach, and he'd put on Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass, and he'd like dance this funny dance to, and that's all he did. He just did a weird dance, and it just killed me.
All right.
I see your sense of humor.
There was another character that he did on Weekend Update where he was like a politician, and he'd be like, "My name is," and he'd like make his hands move on purpose. "My name is, and I am running for the president of the United States." He like check his notes, and that guy. It was subtle, but it was hilarious.
That is funny.
Of course, MacGruber too. So.
Yeah, that's the big one. Katie, what did you expect before you watched this?
I expected a Fox comedy show. And I don't know what that means about me, but I just expect kind of slapstick humor, kind of very interesting actors. Honestly, that's what I figured going into. I was like, okay, they're going to get someone who's funny. They're going to get someone who is able to
Foxy.
be unique and easy to remember.
Interesting. Well, I'll tell you what I expected. I didn't really expect anything. I knew it was going to be a comedy. I knew it was going to be something funny. You know, I feel like I'd seen billboards for it. Or I feel like it was out there somewhere, but I really didn't know anything about it.
Did somebody suggest this show?
Yes. Thank you for reminding us. This actually was suggested by, on YouTube, XO.
Ah, good old
Nice.
XO.
XO. It's like that song, the X's and O's. Remember that song, X's and O's? There you go. There it is.
Yeah.
Good song. Cute. So that's it. I didn't really know what to expect. I just knew it was going to be funny. I was probably presumed it was going to be a little charming because Will Forte, I think I remember seeing his face or something. That's really it. Kind of going into it blind otherwise, but that's what we expected. Really, the important thing is, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, what did you actually get?
I got a show that I loved the first 2 times that I saw it. The whole show.
Knew it.
Well, you should have said it then, Ryan, because you did not say that. You did not say that I've already watched the entire show twice.
I thought
and
you
that
may
is my
have.
this is my third
Wow.
time watching the pilot of the show. Alive in Tucson. I loved it just as much the third time.
Wow.
Nice.
Katie, though, however, I don't think you have
Mhm.
seen this show before, but what did you actually get upon viewing?
I actually have seen this show before. Plot twist. No,
my green
back when I was
screen's
in like
messing up.
middle school, I saw it, and it was just one of those shows that I popped on. I was like, oh, what's this? Whatever. That's never gonna happen. And then what actually happened is when I watched it, I had forgotten the plot, other than Last Guy on Earth, and But when it pops up 2020, I'm like, oh god. And then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, there was this. I'm like, oh god, no.
Right.
And
That's
so
what I said.
I
Strangely prescient. Yeah.
I cringed a lot more this time watching it, having lived through it. So but no, it got a really fun, interesting concept, and it was a really, it surprisingly good, even on a second watch.
Well, everybody, I too. Oh wait, you guys have seen it. No, I, on the other hand, have never seen it before.
Obviously, you haven't seen it.
Ooh.
And what I got was a show that I enjoyed more than I was expecting. Didn't expect anything really, but I was just like,
you started with 0 and went up.
It kind of,
Went up to 3.
It kind of hit the Ryan chord a few times. Like there were a lot of times where I was like, I would do exactly that. Yes. I should
have thought of that.
I would ram my cart into all those cans of soup.
Yeah.
I would use my truck to back out and throw a bunch of bowling balls at, you know, like who wouldn't?
Fish tanks.
If you're the only person and you could destroy everything, why wouldn't you? You're not hurting anybody or anything. So there was a lot that I was like, I don't think I'd be filthy like him, but I would definitely enjoy just breaking stuff and having harmless fun. It's a victimless crime.
Maybe after
now.
2 years, though, you'd wake up like in your background, like where he's like constantly drinking. And
I feel like I wouldn't drink that much either. I feel like that would just be a downer, but who knows? Anyway,
that's
what I actually
you
got
go find the drugs.
Was a show that I just thought was like, it was pretty good. It was pretty funny, pretty enjoyable. Michael has now switched his background to the margarita pool.
Margarita pool. In a later episode, there's no wrong way to use a margarita pool.
Other than maybe using it while you're filthy. Like you'd at least have to shower before going in. It's like a public pool rule.
So
you're just drinking your filth.
Maybe the alcohol would just clean him though.
We usually like to ew, but then he's drinking the filth that it's cleaning off of his narnars.
Crunchy margarita.
So, Michael, here's an important question. Who's your favorite character in this first episode?
Well, my favorite character is the only other character. First of all,
in this first episode.
I live well for it. Yeah, but my favorite other character is the only other character that shows up in this first episode, which is Kristen Shaw. And she's like correcting his grammar like super weirdly, like at the end of this episode. She's like,
but she was right. She was right.
Yeah. Was she?
Yeah.
What do you need that gun out for? Out for what? Out for what do you need that gun?
Out for what do you need that gun? That is technically, English is a strange language, but that is technically grammatically correct English. Because I did the same thing. I was like, wait, what? And I typed out, I was like, nope, that's right. She's right. Okay. Because it was funny if she's right, but it's also funny if she's wrong. So I'm like, either way, it's comedy.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. What about you, Katie? Who's your favorite character in this first episode?
Yeah, Kristen Shaw. I'm here because of Gravity Falls and from Bob's Burgers. And so I immediately go, wait, that's an actual human. She's an actual human. She's not just a voice for cartoons. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that even now throws me, is actually seeing her in human form.
What? Oh, she's got hilarious stand-up too.
Oh, she's amazing.
What cartoon did she do voiceover for?
Bob's Burgers.
Oh, right.
And then she also did Gravity Falls. She voiced Mabel in that show.
Oh, that's the
Have
new
you
one,
yet
right?
to do
Nick
a
Offerman?
WTF Gravity Falls? No. Gravity Falls. That's the kids' cartoon from Disney. It's like the two kids go up into the woods with their uncle who has a mystery shack, and all these weird things happen in the town, and it's really freaking good. It's like one of the best kids shows out there.
What is that one that just what came out with? It's like a Fox show. It just came out with Nick
Great Up
Offerman.
North.
Great Up North, and Will Forte is actually does a voice in that. I just thought of.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That works.
WTF Great Up North.
WTF Gravity Falls.
I've heard of Gravity Kills. They're a nice like industrial band back in the late 90s, but don't know Gravity Falls. Everybody knows Gravity Kills, right? Remember Gravity Kills, Mike?
Dear God, apologies on all the recent masturbation, but I gotta say that's kind of up to you.
Yeah, it's kind of your fault.
It's kind of on you or something.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. That was funny. So, Katie, did you find any of the humor outdated or dumb, or did you enjoy all of it?
It wasn't necessarily outdated. Some of it I was just like, oh gosh, dude, you got to do more with your life. But then again, can't even imagine what it would be like to be alone. So, I mean, yeah, it was humorous throughout, but I don't know if it was necessarily my humor at all times.
What about you, Michael?
He could write, but then if he's the only one alive, who's going to read it, right? He could make music. He could start a generator so that he can like record the music, but then who's going to listen to it? He can paint a painting, but then who's going to be able to look at it, right?
Yeah, get a surfboard, go surfing, go skiing, hook up a generator to the ski lift.
Yeah, ski in Tucson or go surfing in Tucson. Oh yeah, that's great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Build a sandcastle. There we go.
Oh, I forgot to say my favorite character. Maybe it was one of the balls. I don't know. Maybe it was one of the
Gary?
balls. Yeah, Gary was
tracks.
fine. Although I did like, I did really like it. Was Gary the one that he took on the little mini road trip with him to go meet his new girlfriend that was a mannequin? What I thought was funny about that was all the reaction shots. Like he would say something and it would cut to the mannequin just like, and then it would cut back to Gary.
Yeah.
We kept getting reaction shots of no reactions, which is good comedy. That made me laugh.
I gotta say, Tom Hanks, the whole crew and writers and producers of Castaway, you really nailed it.
Yep.
He's like, who's gonna talk to a ball?
What's really cool is since my TV station that I work for is a CBS and Fox duality, we get all these promotional items, and we actually have his volleyball from Last Man on Earth up on a shelf in our studio. And now I actually remember what that's from. Just kind of stares at guests as they come into the station.
Mike, have you ever put Velveeta in wine?
I have not, and that does not sound good at all. Actually, I don't even drink wine anymore. And it's been years since I've eaten any cheese.
Katie, what about you? You ever put Velveeta in wine?
No, I can't say I have. I've never actually had Velveeta. And I've only had wine when, they give it to the kids at church. So,
well, I
could tunk a block of Colby Jack from my fridge into some sparkling grape juice. That might work.
So nobody's ever put Velveeta in wine? I'm shocked.
Have you?
Except for you.
Way too French to mess with wine.
But
I cheese and wine?
I can't even add stuff to my coffee. Like I can't even put like cream or sugar in my coffee. I just like stuff to be like what it is. Like leave it alone.
Yeah, he does like bitter things. That's true.
Oh gosh.
He loves your favorite candy. His favorite candy, everybody in the world, is the most bitter, disgusting thing I've ever put in my mouth. And I just put a tiny little sliver in. He puts giant chunks in his mouth.
Is it dark chocolate?
Worse.
No, it's like bitter black licorice.
Oh,
I love black licorice.
Isn't bad.
No, it's not sweet at all. It's
Mike, you're not going to convince her. He's anti-black licorice. I
love black licorice.
It's delicious.
I love black licorice. I like sweet black licorice. I don't like
it's like
bitter,
almost
disgusting
herby.
black licorice. Yeah, I love that. I love the sweet, real, delicious black licorice. I do not like at all. In fact, I very hate Zon.
The demented ones.
Zon.
Yeah.
Zon.
There's
Oh.
also
Zon.
cashew. There's all kinds of this super
Huh.
intense black licorice. It's kind
Bitter.
of like, it's almost like black licorice reduction, like it's
Yeah.
high. Anyway,
Oh.
It's like if you can
Oh.
imagine what it'd be like putting a black hole in your mouth.
Your body just implodes.
Mhm. Well, you go like this.
You,
But then-
you
but-
pucker
but-
it up and then
But that's after you spit it out. You put it in your mouth and you spit it out, and then you're still like, oh,
and your tongue's black.
Except for
that makes me want to see.
except
a
for
baby
Ryan. Ryan just goes
lemon.
like this. Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
I enjoy lemon drops, but that's about as sour / bitter as I go.
Mm.
I'm a chocolate person, but not a dark chocolate, because I
Me too.
accidentally had dark chocolate once and I almost vomited in my car. So, and that was
You
only a
may
few
not- you
years
may-
ago.
You may not be having the best dark chocolate.
I can't, whatever, any kind of dark chocolate ice cream bar, I am sugar to the max, and then I'm happy.
Dark chocolate has
And
sugar.
so are
in
my
it.
Thunder Thighs.
I think
have to
you're
have
thinking
more.
about. You think you're thinking about bittersweet chocolate.
I just need as much sugar as possible, and then some
No,
milk.
there's dark chocolates that have sugar. That's what I eat. I
Really?
don't eat milk chocolate. I don't eat any dairy. I only eat, if I eat chocolate, I only eat dark
Wait.
chocolate, and it's got sugar in
You don't just drink milk.
it. I don't have any dairy.
You're
Nope.
not allowed in the Midwest.
Well, sorry, Midwest, you're missing out on Michael Kenyon Rosenberg. But I do not ingest any dairy. So
But I want to point
Oh,
out that I
man.
too am not a big dark chocolate fan. I prefer milk chocolate for sure over dark or white chocolate. But we do have to continue watching or talking about this show.
I went on a little bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
How would he get milk? That's why he's so depressed, is he can't get milk in the world that he's in unless he found a
Mm.
cow.
I don't drink milk either. Oh wait, I'm kind of depressed.
What is
Look at
wrong
how
with
low
you
energy
two?
I am.
What?
But I'll eat cheese sometimes. So sometimes I have. And you guys, you
Ryan will
stop
eat
tricking
cheese.
me. Stop getting us back off track. He had a Babe Ruth bat, which was cool. There was some Heisman Trophy award.
Mhm.
That was really cool. There was
Oscars.
a big, Oscar's dinosaur
Yeah.
head on the table, which was fun.
Tapestry of Washington crossing Valley Forge.
Yeah, he had like a presidential seal rug or
Seal
something like
rug.
that. That was
From
all
the
very
Oval
cool. And
Office?
what was good about that is that they were telling us a story, showing, not telling, right? So they're like,
Mhm.
they didn't have to say in the year 2020, there was a thing that happened and this guy happened, they didn't go through that entire thing. We figured it out right away, immediately. He's driving along, doing his thing,
Hello.
spray painting.
Hola.
Hello, Chinese,
Bonjour.
hello.
Chinese hello.
Right. So that's great. That was great screenwriting for me because I'm like, great.
Yeah.
We just hop right in. We get it. We're past all that stuff and we just get right
Yeah.
into the immediate comedy. So I thought that was perfect.
Yeah. And it also helps like reiterate reestablish the point. Like, you can't just walk into the Oval Office and steal a rug. Like, that'd be one of the more heavily guarded places, even if half the population died out. So it really does
Mhm.
point to, everyone's gone. Everyone.
Mhm. And that he's gone pretty far. And he's got a gun, which somehow was funny every time when he goes to walk up to them to meet his dummy girlfriend. And he just pulls out the gun and shoots the window. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what he does.
The
But
first thing he
it's
says to her,
jarring.
Windows, right?
Windows, am I right? That was funny. Good stuff. But Katie,
Mhm.
overall, it's time to be honest. What did you not like about it?
The main character. Dude, what's his name? Not the actor, but the actual
Phil
character.
Miller.
Phil Miller.
And it's funny because this show was created by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
They just put their names together. Phil Miller.
Yeah, I think he'd be great if he wasn't soloing it as like a character. Not like as the actor, he did a brilliant job. But it's like, I think the thing that I didn't like is it was him the entire time with a few assorted balls. Like, at least give him a dog or a squirrel or something that also moves. But yeah, just the stagnation. Almost, it felt like a bottle episode for the character, but not the environment. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Michael, what horrible qualms did you have with it? I know you want to tear this up right now. You just want to destroy
I
the
guess
show.
my most horrible qualm that I had with it is that it just wasn't long enough, and they should have been longer.
Well, technically, Hulu combined them into one episode.
right.
The first 2 episodes of
right,
one,
the first
so.
episodes. But however, I remember watching this when the show premiered, and they had
wow.
2 episodes. It was a 2-episode premiere, but they definitely had 2 separate episodes with credits and everything.
So it was like a 1-hour event where it's like an episode, credits, and another episode and credits.
Mm-hmm.
And it premiered on Fox. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I didn't like about it. Let me see.
All right, let's look at his long list of qualms.
Yeah, I don't think there was really anything that I didn't like about it. It was all fine. There's some things that made me laugh. It was funny when he said skinny jeans on dudes suck. That made me laugh. There are a lot of moments that made me laugh.
Can I sing to you? There's something strange in your neighborhood.
Yeah, and the singing was terrible, which made it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the masturbation line, that's half on you. That's also funny. Chinese hello was funny. There are a lot of funny moments when he sees the pink bra hanging, and we all as an audience get it, because he looks and he sees the pink bra and we're like, oh my God, we know exactly what he's feeling. They don't need to say or do anything with that. There's a lot of, it was pretty smartly written, actually. I thought.
Delicious.
Oh, I also
I must have
remember
some
something.
green in my shirt.
Oh, there you go. You're phasing through. No, I remember one other thing that I did not enjoy. And it was the fact that he was in Tucson. Like, if you're going to find no offense to Tucson, but if you're going to live somewhere, you want to go somewhere that doesn't have like monsoon season or massive amounts of flooding or tornadoes or hurricanes. You could have like snow because that's manageable. I would aim for Salt Lake City, Utah.
Really?
What about San
Yeah,
Diego?
because it has lots of water. I mean, it's San Diego's all right, but I imagine if
But
you're
the
along
water,
the coast, a lot of like
in-
nuclear reactors.
water in Utah is salty though.
There's mountain runoff from the snow. You'd have all the fresh water you'd want.
Well, what's
I don't know.
wrong
Where would
with-
you where would
what's
you
wrong with
guys go?
Tucson? Just because it's hot?
Well, it's hot, it's dry. You get the monsoon season. Flooding can be a problem.
Is there really a monsoon season in Arizona? Oh, I didn't
Arizona
know
and New
that.
Mexico, we have monsoon season in the United States.
I
See,
guess get yourself a meteorologist so you can
Yep.
figure out where to go.
so you
Yeah,
say
I
Salt Lake
would
City,
definitely-
Utah.
I would not say Florida. Of anywhere he could have gone, at least it wasn't Florida.
Yeah, the politics.
What
Yeah.
about you, Michael? Where would you go?
Yeah. For me, it would just be based on the climate. So I would say where I am now in
Yeah.
sunny San Diego, California. That's right. I moved from Portland. I'm now in San Diego.
See, I was
What?
thinking like that too. I was like, I'm kind of happy in LA, as far as weather's concerned. I mean, I'd probably be in a place that's a little cooler than the valley, but somewhere in California. But I remember, well, we also have earthquakes. So, and if something falls on your leg and the last person alive, you're just going to die there with, a pillar on your leg. So
Yeah, but
maybe
you're gonna die anyway too.
yeah, but you'd want it to
It's
not
expedited.
be that. So maybe I'd go a little more inland, maybe go up to the Bay Area, maybe go to like Sacramento's Bay Area, go inland. So you have still decent
Gross.
weather. And well, that's because Arizona gets crazy hot.
You would have a lot of grocery stores if you went to a major metropolitan area. So you'd have good
Yeah.
enough food.
That's true. That's
And
true.
water.
And water, yes.
Lots of canned goods.
Until you
Rich
get
people
tired
houses to exploit.
Oh yeah, until you get tired of dumping water in your toilet, and you just make a toilet.
Yeah.
I laughed when he poured part of his beer
Oh,
back
God.
there too. That was funny. He's sipping. Just pour. I mean, at that point, yeah, who gives a shit? Just
Yeah.
live your life, man. Katie, what was your favorite moment? What made you laugh the most or you enjoy? And don't say when the
Oh.
lady showed up in the last minute. That's a cop out. You guys keep using this thing just because you know that she's good
Boo.
later, just based on this first episode.
I think it's probably the grocery store and just running the cart into the food and everything. It's like, yeah, everyone has those intrusive thoughts when you're out in public. Like,
Mhm.
what if you just started screaming? Like, and then you could just act on that if you were just by yourself, all alone in the world. I'd be down for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What about you, Michael? You're super violent.
I mean, no, I didn't really care about that. I mean, I guess it was funny. It was funny that he was doing all that violent stuff. But I agree that, like, it's just when he walks, he wants to get into the grocery store. He just shoots the window, just knocks the glass out of the way. And he grabs a big pile of porno and like pushes it. He like tries to like push down his cart. There's like a bunch of chips in there that he's just ruining, but he doesn't care. He's like, I need the porno. What else am I gonna do with my time except for drink a margarita pool and masturbate? Right?
I would honestly try to go and stop all the nuclear reactors from going critical. That'd be my first thing.
Really?
That's what
That's a
that's
lot
what
of
these
work.
shows make me think of. Well, at least in my immediate area. These shows make me think, okay, what would kill me first? And then I can relax.
Katie, have you seen the whole show or just the first episode twice?
I only saw like maybe 5 or 6 episodes of it.
Mm,
Let me guess, they'll die in a nuclear reactor.
I'm not going to spoil it because I know that both of you are going to continue watching this show. So
That's jumping ahead.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that I wish they had done that I thought they were going to do, and I was wrong, was when he got his whole cart full of groceries. I thought when he drove his pickup truck away that the cart would just be sitting in the pickup truck bed.
Yes.
Like why unload everything and just pick up the cart and drop it in, But I just thought that would be funny, even if it's not necessarily possible. Might have been too heavy for him, but I was expecting to see it. I was like, oh, here comes it's not there. That would have been funny.
Also just thought it was kind of funny that like he just goes to a bar. Like you could just go to the supermarket or Beverages and More or whatever and just raid that and get all the alcohol you need, which he does eventually with his margarita pool. But I like it is he just goes to a bar to hang out. It's completely dark in there because it's nighttime and there's no lights. But he's just like drinking a bottle of whiskey at a bar.
Hey, did you guys have Beverages and More in South Dakota?
We have like a liquor store that occasionally we drive past. We mostly have fireworks stands. And if you have both of those types of stores located next to each other, you tend to get accidents. So it's either one or the other.
Is it a dry state or dry county or?
No, people drinking beer and everything, getting all the whiskey, but it's just not as frequent as some spots. It's not on every corner.
Fun fact
there is
about
one
Oregon,
though, next to the pizza
there's
place.
no Bevmo in Oregon. They have state-run liquor stores. So if you want to get soused, you have to go to a state-run liquor store.
What does that even mean?
Huh.
That means that there's no Beverages and More. There's no huge mega marts of alcohol.
What about
Do you get like
stores?
discounts and?
Yeah, there's liquor stores, but they're run by the state.
How does a
It's all
state
it's
run a
all
liquor
regulated.
store? I don't understand.
It's all regulated.
Huh.
But the other fun fact is they have gambling inside of like slot machines inside of every bar. It's like a state-run state-run lottery machines. They're just like slot machines.
Oh yeah, we have those in gas stations out here. Little mini casinos.
That's all so confusing to me. I don't know. I'm still trying to understand how and why the state runs all liquor stores.
They regulate the liquor.
How do they
Like,
regulate
are they
it?
stopping
I don't
from
know.
getting illegal liquor? Like, what are they regulating it for?
Yeah, what are they I don't understand. Oh, okay.
I don't know. Ask the legislature.
They just don't want teenagers getting liquor, which
I'm
was
sure that's
already
it. But
hard enough.
in California, you can go to a CVS and buy some alcohol.
Yeah.
Not in Oregon.
Interesting.
Get trashed at CVS.
Interesting. Okay. That's really weird to me. But at least you can gamble, right? That's something.
Yep.
But gambling's kind of boring. All right. So I don't know. I feel like the more we talk about this show, I'm like, am I liking it less as it goes? It made me laugh. I don't know.
Yeah.
It made me laugh. I thought it was very good, but right now, you know what else makes us laugh? And you know what else is very good? Katie, let's talk about you for a bit, shall we?
Shucks, sure. Beautiful transition.
Yes.
So you've already told us that you are a meteorologist. Can you tell us how long you've wanted to be a meteorologist before you became one? Was it something just from the very beginning?
Oh yeah. I was around 4 or 5, and actually we were driving home at night in Michigan, and there was a storm, and we kind of had to pull over because we couldn't see anything. Found out a tornado went right over the top of us, and I thought it was really cool, and my parents didn't think that that was weird, so they were like, "Hey, sure, we'll let you read all the weather books you want." And then another tornado hit me in 2011, which if you live in Michigan, you don't get 2 tornadoes twice. So that was a sign that I had to do this, and I've loved it ever since.
What's your favorite weather phenomenon?
Oh, see, I enjoy tornadoes as well as some big snowstorms. Those are my two, like lake effect snow, which dumps so much snow, and then just twisters everywhere. And also hail. This is a hailstone that I made. It's a 3D printed replica of the largest hailstone ever recorded in the United States.
Really?
Wow.
It's just that I really like it, and it works great as a weapon. It's almost got like football laces, so you can just. I'm not saying I sleep with that on my bedside table, but maybe.
So do you ever get like huge snowstorms and tornadoes at the same time?
I mean, you can have tornadoes happen right on top of snow. We had that back in December here. But usually it's a little too cold when it's snowing. You can get like gustnadoes or like little dust devils that pick up the snow, and they get those in the mountains a lot. Those are fun. I'd ski through that.
Here's a question for you that I just thought of. When I'm driving from LA, when you said dustnadoes or sharknado or something you said, when I'm driving from LA to Las Vegas to go to the big Star Trek convention, oftentimes in the desert, which I think is beautiful, I think the desert is the most beautiful landscape. Oftentimes you see they're like twisters to the left and right. And you're like, I'm literally driving down a freeway in the middle of a desert, and they're just some big old twisters flying around. They don't usually come into the freeway, maybe once or twice, but what's going on with that? Is that just like regular stuff that sounds crazy to me?
Dust devil, right?
Yeah, dust devils. That's just Taz. He came up for a while, but it's differential heating and wind direction. So if you're in the desert, it's totally normal to see these massive columns of dust being thrown up. And you can even find it in the Midwest in cornfields because it's bare ground. So it absorbs the sunlight a lot better. It doesn't have as high a reflectivity rate. And so you get these really quick warm-ups, and it causes that rising motion, which of course, along with the wind, convergence, and whatever technology and meteorology has told us that it can make a tornado or a spinny boy. Well, not technically a tornado because there's no storm, but yeah, it's dust devil, just really pretty ones.
Is spinny boy a real thing, or did you just make that up?
Spinny boy's a thing that young meteorologists use during our memes, like in our meme sessions, but otherwise not really taken seriously.
I saw a couple spinny boys the other day. So,
and then you got the sparky boom boys with the lightning. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of just phrases we can't use on television.
Like what?
I'm not gonna say them. My mother watches these.
Oh, okay, well then, yeah, definitely. Only tell us a couple.
Hi, Katie's mom.
In the chat. Yeah.
Hi, Katie's mom.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There you go. Yeah.
Here's the thing, Katie, you were nominated for 2 Emmys. Could you please tell
Not
us
one, two.
What those categories were?
Yeah, so it was for my weather and meteorology presenting. So we had one for a huge weather special that we put together. It was like a 30-minute special on the Great Flood of the Missouri River, which no one knows or cares about outside of our area, but it was really important to us. And so we did one of those. And then I also got one for my story on petrichor, which is the fancy name for the smell of rain. And it actually can help you fight depression. So everyone seemed to have a very positive response to it.
Wow, that's really cool. What is the smell of rain?
Well, the smell of rain is actually caused by decaying things in the ground and bacteria, and you also have fungi too. But when the water hits it, it puffs it into the air, and that geosmin, which causes it, goes up into your brain, and your body processes it and releases just norepinephrine and just happy endorphins and everything. It's really cool.
So you're basically doing shrooms.
Pretty much natural decaying shrooms.
I mean, I do love the smell of rain, don't you guys?
It's sweet. It's so good.
Even when you
One
get
of my favorites. One of my favorites is like after it rains and the smell of the freshness.
Everything's just like soaked into the ground and it's just green. And I mean, it's the least amount of dust because the air is actually scrubbed clean. Mother Nature's rain is actually getting all those particles and pollutants out of the atmosphere. So pretty fresh air after a rain.
Yeah, even if it's just rain on concrete, which seems like it wouldn't be that great, somehow you smell it, or maybe it just reminds you of rain. But I definitely love the smell of rain, and I didn't realize that there was a name for that. I just always thought it was called the smell of rain.
Hence the piece.
Rain smell.
So that's why you were nominated for an Emmy. Brilliant.
That's
perfect.
why. And fingers crossed I get a couple more this year. We'll see. Maybe a win. A win would be nice.
Do you have a couple things that are in the running?
We have a couple just from storm coverage, and then also I did a story on how it's called Silent Alert and how people who are deaf get weather alerts because they can't hear the tornado sirens or their phone going off with weather alerts and everything. And so actually I'm learning like sign language, like a tornado emergency, so I can use it on air because they necessarily, but yeah, exactly. You just flip them off and then you emergency. But yeah, captions don't always work, so I figured might as well do my part.
It was
It's like,
tornado,
you take it
emergency.
and you just tornado and then emergency or emergency. There we go.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Almost
So
like a witch
that's the only one
thing
I
where
have
you're
down.
like,
Ooh. I think it's like Scarlet Witch where it's just
double marionette.
But yeah.
Well, that's cool. So everybody, you're going to want to follow Katie and let her keep you in the know with all of her Emmy chasing. She chases tornadoes, but she chases Emmys too. And they're going to come her way real soon. So check that out. We've got her goodies, her information, her links in the description box below. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg is pointing that out because he's the one that's going to be adding it. So definitely click on those links and follow Katie on all of her fun stuff. And now it's time. There it is. It's time for the bottom line. Michael calls it the bottom line. Everybody else calls it the terrible twos because it's the terrible twos.
No.
Do you think you guys will ever agree on which one it is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've already agreed that it's called the bottom line because that's what it's when we cut that segment out. And actually, Ryan, funnily enough, Ryan actually came up with the name the bottom line. But he still likes to use the terrible twos because he's a jerk.
Okay.
So, so yeah, it's the terrible twos, and it's the final two questions of the show. So everybody loves these. It's the big time. Put everybody to bed. This is the important stuff. Question number one, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you honestly give this first episode of The Last Man on Earth?
9 out of 10. I liked it a lot.
Wow.
I mean, so like I said, my wife and I, when this show first came out, we watched it like weekly, like every time a new episode would come out, or if like the new season was coming back, we'd be like, yes, we love Will Forte. We love the show. So we would watch them like right. I mean, we would stream it like once, so it was like the week after or the day after it came out or something like that. But then recently, I've said this a lot, like we like to watch a show before we get ready to go to bed. And so we decided, hey, let's rewatch Last Man on Earth. And so we watched it again. So we've watched the whole series twice. There's a lot of great guest stars, a lot of cameos, as you can guess. There's more than just one man and women on the Earth. There's actually a handful. But just in case that was like the big qualm that seems like Katie had, is there was only him. But right away at the end of this episode, you get Kristen Schaal, so that's Their relationship is hilarious. Every other person that comes in is hilarious. And that's why I give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Nice.
That's a big score. Katie,
That is.
be honest, scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this?
I'd say this episode, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. Like, I was torn between a 6 and a 7. It has really good comedy, but at the same time, it's just not entirely everything that you would think for a show. I think you'd have to combine it with a few other episodes to make it higher up on the scale.
6.5?
6.5.
Okay. That makes sense.
Flirting with a 7. Flirting with a 7.
I also flirted with a 7, but I got somewhere with it. I'm giving it a 7.5 overall. Wow. Is that what I gave it, a 7.5? No, actually, I gave it a 7.8. So let me change that. That's what I put in my notes last night, so I should stick with it. Feels more like a 7.5, but upon watching it, I was thinking it was a 7.8, so I'm going to go with that. 7.8. It was surprisingly funny and easy to watch and well written.
That's really what you want in a comedy, is you want it to be funny. So
right. I don't need it. Sure. I don't need to work for the humor. Just keep it clever, keep it funny, keep it well written. That's all I want to see. Something good. What's the big deal? But that's an important question we just asked. But the most important question is question number 2. For the purposes of this podcast, we all had to watch the first episode of Last Man on Earth. But Michael, now that the podcast is over and we're free to move about the internet, would you, of your own volition, watch the second episode? Oh, no.
Well, as I mentioned, I've already watched this series twice. So do I really need to watch it a third time? I probably would. I would. Yeah.
Nice.
Do I need to? Yes, I do need to. So.
So let's see, where was I? Oh yes, would I watch the second? Well,
did we ask Katie?
No, we did not. Katie, would you watch the second? Katie was nodding along. She's like, good, they're not going to ask me. Would you watch the second episode?
You know what? I think I will, because I want to see how this develops. And with my very limited knowledge of the series, I think it'll just be like watching it brand new again.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's a lot of love for this show. So last night, this is how it works for me. Last night, when I watched it, I thought this was a no. I'm not going to, it was good. It was good enough. I'm not going to watch the second episode. However, when the episode ended, I found myself fighting the urge to just watch the next episode. It was like eating a salty salt and vinegar chip. You eat one and you think you're just going to have one, but you find yourself reaching for the next one and you're like, oh, well, I guess I already got this one in my hand. So that's what this was like. I didn't watch the second episode, but I felt the urge to watch it multiple times. I kept almost watching it. So I guess that means it's a yes, that I would. Now that I've stopped, I probably never will. But at that moment right then, it clearly deserved to have the second episode watched because I wanted to see it.
It's good.
So that's it. They win. They defeated me.
Yeah.
And it's yeses all around for us.
Thank goodness.
Nice.
And I guess that's about it. Katie, thank you so much for playing with us. This has been a lot of fun. And everybody at home, if you'd like us to review a show, in the comments below, just type in WTF and whatever that show is. You could say WTF Family Matters, or WTF Family Guy, or WTF Family Ties. All right, here we go.
Oh, that was
or
very
WTF
good.
All in the Family, or WTF
Should have stopped when you were ahead.
Valerie's Family. Anyway, that was a show.
The Hogan Family.
That was also the same show. Okay, so that's about it, everybody. Because remember, it was like Valerie, and then she left, so then they called it Valerie Family, and then the next season they called it the Hogan Family.
I never watched it, so WTF that show.
Whatever that show is. Anyway, what I'm trying to say, everybody, is give us a like, subscribe, share this with your friends, 5 stars, comment below. And really what I want to say is this was the last podcast on Earth. Actually, I hope it's not.
No, it's not.
That would be that'd be sad.
This podcast made me very happy to be wrong about Ryan.
This podcast made me very happy that I'm not the last person on Earth.
We're happy about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody remember what Mr. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg always likes to say.
Because we're not the last people on Earth, don't forget to go and register to be an organ donor. And also don't forget that my green screen is kind of wigging out right now. But after you register to be an organ donor, don't forget to watch the first of things.